What's up, guys? Conch here, and today, as promised, I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to make what I call a mesh rope wick. I usually use it specifically for Genesis tank atomizers, because its wicking ability is really great, and I really can't see anything wrong with it. It's just a superior wick to basically anything I've tried before in my tanks. And this tutorial is going to move pretty fast. It's going to be faster than my Pro Tank rebuild tutorial because I expect the audience of this video to know the basics already, how to roll mesh or what to do with a torch, things like that, how to iron out hot spots, and how wicking works in general. So yeah, let's get down to it. What you will need some mesh, obviously, because it's called mesh rope. Some mesh. I'm actually going to be out of 500 mesh soon, so it's going to suck. You need a pair of scissors to cut the mesh. Where are my scissors? Where are my scissors? Oh, there. Pair of scissors. You will need a pair of pliers. What else? Oh, you will either need a torch or a lighter. I prefer a torch, but when I didn't have a torch, when my other torch ran out of gas and I didn't know where to need one, I used a big lighter and it worked just fine. So a little harder to do, and it took like 10 minutes more because you have to roll the wick around. Instead of when you have the torch, you can just point the flame at whatever you want. But yeah, either one works fine. So first, what you do is I'm gonna do the tutorial first. I'm gonna show you how to build the wick first, how to make a wick first, and then I'll explain why it works so well. So what you do is the mesh like this. You want to cut long strips, long thin strips. So it's cut like right here along the length. Make it thin. Okay, so a strip will look like this. Not the prettiest because my scissors are actually there's some chips on it, but yeah, this is what a strip looks like. You will need at least 3 of these. I usually use 5. Some people can go and use 7. Whichever works fine. 5 is a good bet. In the tutorial, though, I'm just going to use 3 because it's faster that way. And you can just do this exact same thing with 5. There's pretty much no difference at all. I need a new pair of scissors. Three strips. Okay. Each strip's like this, right? And you have 3 of them. Now what you want to do is each strip like that, you want to roll across width so that you have a really thin long tube made of mesh. So you roll it across width. I'm going to do 1 and let you guys figure out the rest. Rolling this. See, so the thinner the strip you cut, the harder it is. It's going to be to roll, but you don't want to use too much mesh. You don't want your strip to be too wide. You want it to be just thin enough. A couple after some practice, you'll figure out just right where you want the strip to be, how big you want it to be. Yeah, so you see it's forming already, like a tube, a hollow tube like that. You don't want it to be solid because unlike a classic stick wick roll thing, where you want the wick to be solid, with this method you want it to be hollow. You want it to be hollow, but at the same time have enough mesh in it that it holds its shape and doesn't unravel on you. When I have a better pair of scissors, I usually cut it really thin, like about, say, a quarter or less than a quarter of an inch, well, a fifth of an inch. That's the width of the strip that I usually use. But it doesn't have to be exact. Whatever makes it the thinnest that you feel comfortable with, basically. So here's the first roll 2, right? And it's hollow. I don't think you can see it on the camera, but it's hollow. It's not solid. Okay, so you do all 3 or all 5 if you're doing 5, all the strips like that. Okay, now that you have all 3 strips rolled up, so you have 3 tubes like this, 3 little sticks like this. What you want to do is grab your pair of pliers. This is the hard part. This is the part that will give you the most trouble. It gave me a lot of trouble when I started out. With a pair of pliers, you want to line up the tubes. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Yeah, you can see it. Line up the tubes like that, as close together as possible. At least the heads. The tips have to be very close together. And hold it like that, and you use the pair of pliers to grab that end. To grab those ends. Make sure that they are very close together, because the closer they are together, the nicer your wick is going to come out. So very close, and you grab it. Just like that. See? You grab it. Now this is the hard part. This is the part I don't think I can show on camera. It's gonna be a lot easier if you have like a helping hand. By that I don't mean like your wife or your roommate or something. Your helping hand isn't like the thing that holds your pliers in place for you, so you can have your hands free. I don't have a helping hand in my room, so what I do is I use my 2 legs to grab 2 of these. It's not really pretty, but I use 2 legs to basically squeeze the pliers together so that I have hands free. And what you want to do, this is going to be hard to show on camera. You want to twist like that. Okay, hold the ends very firmly between the pair of pliers. And you want to twist it. You twist it just like how, say, if you have 3 strands of string, you can make a rope, right? You line them up and then you twist it all around, holding the order of the strands fixed. So you want to grab it here, twist it, okay, and then you keep twisting it, keep twisting it. I only have one hand free, so I can't. Let's just see if I can show you. So like, I only have one hand free, and my wrist can only rotate that much. But basically, the idea is when you have this pair of pliers fixed and the 3 ends fixed, use one hand to rotate it until your wrist can't rotate anymore, and then you use your other hand to like continue the rotation. See what I mean? Like, I think I just described it as best I can. You keep twisting it, keep twisting it. Yeah. Just keep twisting it like that. And then as you twist it, you twist it until you have twisted about a third, first third. first third of the 3 strands. And what you want to do is have your torch. I'm sorry. Until you have you have your first third twisted. You keep it there, hold its shape. You just hold the 3 strands just like that, and then use your torch to torch that part, the part that you just twist, holding it in that shape. So what that does is the torch will make the mesh hard, harder, and it will hold that shape where you want it to be. It will hold that twisted shape so that it won't unravel on you. I hope that makes sense. What you want to do is to torch it until it goes red, and then you twist it a little bit more to make it hold firmly, and then you stop torching it. You keep your hand right there, or maybe it's safer to use another pair of pliers to keep the wick in position, keep the 3 strands twisted in position until it cools down. So what that does is you're twisting it when the mesh is red hot and kind of soft, right? And then when it cools down, it will harden and it will stay in that shape. And you keep going down each portion one portion at a time until you arrive at something that looks like this. This is the complete mesh rope. I don't know if you can see the strands on this. The camera is not so good. Yeah, you see if you can see the strand on this. There you go. That's how you make mesh rope. This wick is basically the best wick I've used in any of my tanks. Arguments can be made for drippers, because with drippers you have a lot more choice. So you can use cotton, you can use echo wool, you can use ceramic rope. But at least in Genesis tanks, like the RSSC, every one of my Genesis tanks are using this mesh rope thing, mesh rope wick, and it looks absolutely amazing. I'm running sub-ohm, micro coils, which puts out a ton of heat, but the wick can keep up no problem. I never have to tilt, I never have to do anything, and I never get a dry hit. It's just an awesome wick. I hope that was helpful. I mean, like I said, I don't have I don't have like helping hands, so I really can't show you like doing this with my legs, right? I mean, it wouldn't be helpful at all. But you get the idea, I'm sure. You guys are smart. And okay, right. I want to explain very briefly why this wick is good, and why I think it's much better. In fact, I know that it's much better than using stainless cable as a wick, which seems to be the trend nowadays. A lot of people are using cable and with a little diaper, or like a little wrap on the top where the coil goes. Diaper of mesh. And the reason why this is much better than the cable is that the cable, I think I have a cable wick right here that one of my friends sent to me. Right, I have it right here. Here's the cable. I wrapped the top, the tip in ceramic rope, which was good. It was good. But if you take out your cable wick, you will see that it's made up of not many, 7 or 5, maybe 3. I don't think anyone uses 3. It's usually 7 strands twisted together, right, in a very nice pattern. What that does is you can see between 2 adjacent strands, there will be a slit, like a spiral slit that goes around up to the top. And this helps the wicking action, capillary action tremendously because the juice will travel around that slit. Every time you take a hit, every time you take a vape, the top portion of your wick is going to be dry, and the bottom, the part that is submerged in the tank or in contact with the juice, is going to be saturated with juice. And what that does, it creates a difference between saturation within the wick, and that's where capillary action happens. The juice will get sucked up to replenish the dry part of the wick. And so these slits, the spiral pattern along the surface, the outside of the wick, of the cable wick right here, helps the wicking because juice will travel around the slit, right? Go up. And yeah, that's like that's the reason why the cable wicks, the stainless cable wicks so well. What we just did, what I just showed you with the mesh rope, is exactly the same thing. You're creating a rope out of twisted strands of mesh, right? But it is superior to stainless steel cable because if you take a look at the cable, you will see that each one of its individual strands is solid. It's just solid steel, and this creates a massive heat sink. It just sucks up so much of the heat that is produced by your foil. It's the total waste, not to mention the heat that is held, massive heat that is held inside the wick, inside the metal of the wick. It's gonna cook up your juice in the tank. You cook up the juice in the tank, and I don't know about you, but I really don't want so much heat going into the fresh juice in my tank. And to be honest, having solid strand doesn't help the wicking. The juice travels around, right? Travel on the outside. The inside of each strand, solid or not, doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. Okay? With mesh, like I just showed you, because each strand is a hollow tube, so it has very little mass. Not to mention, the mesh is also porous. The mesh has a bunch of holes in it. So if you really think about it, the amount of steel in a mesh rope versus stainless steel cable is very different. A mesh rope has way less mass of steel than a cable, with the same wicking action, the same wicking power, even more, because in addition to the slits, to the spiral slits on the outside, the wicking action is also helped by the porous nature of mesh. The little holes, adjacent holes, also act as wick. If you have used the roll stick wick for mesh before, you will know that that stick actually wicks. Not very well, I don't think, but it does wick, because what happens is two adjacent little holes, one will be saturated with juice, the other not, and juice will climb from the wet one to the dry one, keep going until there is no dry one anymore. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, the mesh rope has the same benefits of cable, none of the disadvantages, and also have more benefits. I don't see why people don't use it. I personally don't like cable very much. The mesh rope is so much better. It may take a while to get used to because it's quite a challenge to make. Now, after some practice, I can make one in about 15 minutes. A nice, pretty one in about 15 minutes from 5 strands. And 5 strands looks absolutely amazing. I never have to tilt anything. like this one. This one of my nicer. I don't think you can see the wick inside. Not very well. Yeah, one of my nicer one. It works so well that I just have no complaint. So yeah, I think that's it. I think we went through the tutorial, and then we went through technical explanation of it. I hope all of that makes sense. Feel free to shoot me with not feel free to shoot me. Feel free to shoot any question my way. That's what I meant to say. Any question my way, comment on YouTube or ECF. And yeah, I'm gonna put this on YouTube now. I'm gonna start like a series on rebuildable atomizer systems, starting with like beginner's tutorial, step by step, how to set up your first RBA, to intermediate, where I explain all the stuff, how all of the physics of this works, how different things compare together, and then this something like making a mesh rope wick is going to fall into, I think, advanced. Yeah, I'm going to put it under advanced. Yeah, so that's the plan. Let me know what you guys think, and also let me know what you think can be improved in this video or videos like this one. Like what you just comment on YouTube. Just let me know what you're looking for in these videos. What you think I may be able to include in future videos that I didn't in this one. Like if you want to see like up close shot. I don't know if you can do up close shot of like those things that I'm making, because I have a very bad camera. But yeah, just let me know. That's it. Bye. See you guys next time.